Hello FlossTube, my name is Tamara. Welcome to my channel Tamara Cross Stitch, and I'm starting today's video, which is an epic video. It's the Whip Parade of 2025. I'm filming such a video every year. I mean, like a video about the whips I have in a certain year, and I'm starting with such a beautiful background. But not winter is going to be the one which you are going to see first. The thing is that previous years when I was filming this kind of video, I was thinking how to separate the designs, and I had according to the brand, according to the I don't know, many things, but this year I decided that they are going to be according to each season. So the first one is going to be not winter, it's going to be spring, then it's going to be summer, then it's going to be autumn, and in the end it's going to be winter. Winter is going to mean that the designs which I stitched, the projects which I stitched and finished in the beginning of this year 2025, and the designs which I finished the year with. I hope you're going to enjoy the video. And now let me share the designs I stitched and I finished in spring. And I have pretty many just nans, by the way. Let me start with this design, which is actually a winter design, and as a person who is stitching like seasonal designs, it's kind of strange that I'm starting with a winter design. But the thing is that so this is the winter mouse on a biscornu. This one was released pretty late in February, and until I got it, until I stitched it. So actually I started it in the last days of February, but you know, February it's a short month, and I finished it in the first days of March. So it's a winter design, but it was finished in the first days of spring. Exceptionally beautiful design. I like it very, very much. And this was the first in the series, you know. Then it was a second one, which was the spring one, the biscornu, the Hetty hedgehog, I think. Hetty is her name. So the hedgehog, the pink hedgehog with the rose biscornu. Again, exceptionally beautiful design. And I stitched it in spring, and this would be like the second design of the series. Of course, we are eagerly waiting for the next ones. I absolutely adore these little things, and this is not everything because I stitched, because you know, like spring, this is Easter, and I stitched as well the Cloverly Bunny's house. So this is not a mouse, this is not a hedgehog, this is a mouse. This is a rabbit, a bunny. So the house of the bunny and the bunny. I had this one in my stash for quite a long time. I think from the first years I started stitching and collecting Just Nan. And this one would be the last house by Just Nan, which I already stitched. So I stitched the others. I think Alvira's house also, it was one which was released while I was already stitching Just Nan. The other two, they were like limited editions for Silver Needle, and I had to make them from scratch. Beautiful one. Now this one also is out of print, but nevertheless I managed. And here, if you noticed, I added a carrot, mini carrot to this one, because I thought it's even more cutest. Okay, and to speak also about small designs, I have such a horsey. This is from the Ukrainian brand Fruzilok, and this would be the second one. And throughout the year I stitched two more, and I have a full set of 4, one horsey for every season. Nice design, nice work. I like it very much. That I'm repeating myself all the time, but I like very much that they include everything in the kit. I mean, only these things, the thread, the cut back. You need just a few drops of glue or whatever you are using to put them, and everything is ready. So this is the Crocus horsey. Then I stitched another Just Nan, but this time I finished it in a frame. This is Finchley's house, I think it's called, this little pretty bird. This one is stitched on the fabric according to the key. This is Belfast. This one is not hand dyed, but it looks as if it's hand dyed, and I'm glad that I found it. Nice one. And with the it's not a button, it's a charm, it's a painted charm. Okay, and this one, quick stitch, nice stitch. This one was on my list for like wish list to be stitched for a long time, and finally I got it and I stitched it, and I finished it. I framed it in such a frame. This one is super heavy. This frame I bought it like a few years ago for Petite by Dimensions, the lady with the hat. I forgot what's her name. And the thing is that, you know, like the paper we used to put inside, it was like 13 by 18 centimeters. And the dimensions, they have this, how it's called, this size. But the thing is that, yes, they wrote like this, but there is a piece of like a part which goes underneath. And that one didn't fit, especially because that one had the, like the edges, they were cross-stitched and I would have spoiled it. That's why I finished that one already in a professional studio, but this one was like waiting for its design. And when this one was stitched, I said, okay, I'm going to finish into this frame because it will go ideally, let's say so. And I finished it and I'm happy. So yeah, this is the final touch I gave to it. Okay, and one more Jasnan. Yes, I had a lot of Jasnan. When I'm saying I had a lot, I had a lot. Next one is Rosie the rabbit. This is from the Shenanigans series. And this is the first one from this series which I stitched. So this bunny is my favorite design from the Shenanigan series. I had the chart, and when I was looking at the chart all the time, I was thinking that I won't be able to get the materials. The thing is that in most of them, these charts, the materials are out of print. So in my case, it was alpaca, Rainbow Gallery alpaca wool, and hopefully I had some. I bought a couple of lots like throughout the years. When I put everything together, I had enough. And I stitched this one. I didn't like stitching with alpaca threads, but I insanely like the rabbit. Like it's very nice. It's very nice. The roses were stitched with pearl thread number 5, and in like here the ear there were some DMC in the inside, and there was like the Rainbow Gallery, I forgot how it's called, like the black one also was used like inside. Very beautiful, very nice. I'm kind of very happy. And I managed to find the fabric, which is not exactly, so according to the key it's the 19th count I think, but I found the 20th, so mine is a little bit smaller, but nevertheless I'm happy. So I finished like this. I used this one because it was a lot of space and it looked I don't know, not nice. This one is not glued here. It's not like when I'm taking out from the frame I can like remake it. I'm still thinking of coloring this one, the lace, into green color to make the, as if this would be the grass, but I'm thinking about coloring it in one of these shades, you know. Here is 500, 501, 502, you know, this famous Jasnan shades. So I'm thinking about looking for like dye, fabric dye, to color this one and put it back, because I like how it looks with this one, but still I don't like that it's white. Still I would do it like green, but this shade of green, one of these shades of green, because I don't want another one. Yeah, so this would be another Jasnan, and the last one I'm going to show you for spring. Then I stitched such a stitcher. This is Luca S, and this would be the second one. Many years ago when they were released, I mean, like, because it was this one and another one with a head, and that one I bought. So from the two of them, I liked that one better. I don't know why I liked that one better. I bought that one, I stitched at the time, and that's it. I said, no, it's enough. Now that I'm like stitching stitchers from Heritage Crafts, I kind of, let's say, I'm making myself a collection of stitched stitchers. Yes. And I said, okay, it would be a pity if I'm not going to buy this one and stitch it as well. So I purchased it and I stitched it. Not an easy, how they say, a design to stitch, because a lot of back stitch, different colors of back stitch. So It's a small design, but still it was pretty difficult to stitch it. And this one is on Aida 16 because the first one was on Aida, because at that time I was stitching only on Aida. But I'm happy with it, and I'm happy that I stitched it. And the last design I wanted to show you, it's the biggest one and is the only one which is not finished, like framed, I mean. So this is such a beautiful house from Dimensions, and this is a needlepoint kit. It was a needlepoint kit because, as you could see, this one has to be done on this one, and this one consists of specialty stitches, you know, a lot of specialty stitches. The thing is that I purchased this kit a few years ago, and I started stitching it and I just left it. So this one was like frozen somewhere. And in the beginning of the year, I told myself to look at the projects which I started and which I'm not stitching, to try to finish them. And I managed to finish this one, and I am very, very glad that I did it. So a difficult project. How would I say? It took time. You have to be very accurate when you are doing it, because like the French knots, they have to be like the stitches, everything have to look like more or less, because it's architectural, you know, things, and they have to look neat. But I liked it very much, and I like how it looks, the result. It's not framed because it's pretty big, and I would probably want a beautiful frame. I mean, like a frame which would be cream also, and also would have a lot of like things like this. And yeah, beautiful, very beautiful. And I'm glad that I finished it, because it was lying like in a package waiting to be finished. So let me start with such a design from Mill Hill, and this is a Jim Shore design. This is a Welcome Pineapple. This one was a how do I say, a wished, wanted design. It was taken from the book 25 Years of Witchelt Designs, I think, or however it's called. From that book contains this chart, because this chart wasn't released as a separate one. And also there is Lucky, the cat, the black cat, Lucky. The chart is also there, because they have, also by Jim Shore, they also haven't released that one as a separate chart. That's why the book, it was bought like mainly for this design, but this design was stitched the third, because I said I'm not going to stitch anymore anything else from that book. I stitched Lucky, I stitched Midnight Santa, and finally I stitched this design. It is stitched on a Jobeline, but not the Jobeline according to the key, because that one I couldn't find. And you know what's the interesting fact, that after stitching I saw it on eBay. It was pretty expensive, by the way, and I think it was sold. It was a bidding auction, and it was sold. This one I dyed by myself with Reed dye, blue one. I showed in my videos. Generally speaking, about details about these designs I showed in my videos, previous videos. So if you want to find out something, go there, for sure you'll find the answer. So I'm happy. I could stitch this one on white fabric as well. It's not a big deal, but on bluish, as they recommend, I think it looks even nicer. A lot of beads, a very lot of beads. I'm happy about this one. I have even the figurine by Jim Shore. I showed it in like one of the previous videos. I haven't like brought it today again. Beautiful, very, how would I say, sparkling design. And the buttons here, they are not according to the key, because I didn't have, they are Jim Shore buttons, but they are different, because I didn't have the original ones. Because I bought all, not all, the designs by Jim Shore which I wanted to stitch. I kind of realized in, when these buttons were getting out of, they already were out of print, but not a lot of people knew about that apparently, and I still managed to found for the designs I wanted to stitch, I still managed to found buttons. For this one I didn't find the buttons according to the key, but I found these ones, and I thought that they will look fine because the colors which I use here, they are okay. Yeah. Okay, then the next one, let me show you this beautiful lady. This is Elizabeth. This is Heritage Crafts, John Clayton's design, and this is a second lady, stitching lady, I mean, from John Clayton and from Heritage Crafts, and generally speaking is my second design from this brand. The first one is Annabelle, also like round design, a circle by John Clayton, and that one also is a stitching lady. It was released, that one, last year. I bought it, I stitched it, I liked it. It was like very popular throughout like stitchers, and when this year this one was released, I thought that I have to buy it, I have to stitch it, because again it's a stitching lady. She is traveling, like it's back in time, and she was stitching actually, but she saw something on the window and she stopped a little bit and she is admiring the view. Elizabeth, the beautiful lady. Then I kind of was very, how they say, the thing is, everything started actually with this horsey. This is from Fuzilok. This is an Ukrainian brand, and I have 4 horses like this. They are seasonal, at least I like made them seasonal, and I have a Christmas one which I stitched a couple of years ago, and 3 like the crocus one, the strawberry one, and the pumpkin one, they were in my stash. That's why in the beginning of the year I decided, like, the series which I started, seasonal series which I started like once upon a time, to finish them. That's why in spring I stitched the crocus, the spring one, and in summer this one was in my box with the designs to be stitched. I took it out, I looked at it, at the kit, and I said, why not stitching strawberry designs? That's why I was looking for something, and I found 2 more, and like I successfully stitched 3 strawberry designs, even 4. Okay, so strawberry horse, this one is on wood. So in the kit you have absolutely everything, even this part of the design, very like nice. You have everything. The threads are DMC. In the beginning with the first one, I remember it was pretty, not difficult, but unusual to stitch on such thick wood. But then I got used and it was very, very easy. You see? Nice one. Okay, we have a strawberry designs which I stitched. This is Strawberry House, but by Little House Needleworks. This one, the design, I mean, the 3 classic Colorworks threads which you need for them, and these buttons, just another buttons, they were in my stash for I think 5 years. And when I was looking, of course I have other strawberry designs, but this one, you know, like it's a small one, it was like staying in my stash for such a long time, and I said, okay, it's your time to be stitched. That's why I took it out, I stitched it, and yeah. The 3 hand-dyed threads, I would recommend to buy either, if you don't have either the ones which are in the key, or if you have like in your stash, choose from what you have. So this is like this brown thread, which is used like a lot, I would say. Then this is like the red pinkish one you see in the house, in the strawberries, in the written part, and the green, the light green. It is used pretty much, and it will make your little design look nicer. That's why I would recommend finding something which is variegated, yes, because you can stitch in DMC. I think they don't give the DMC counterpart, by the way. The fabric, which was according to the key, it was 30th count, don't remember the brand, but I whenever I have that fabric in the key, I never find it, and it's expensive. That's why I use the 30th count. Still it's the 30th count, but this is T3, the French linen. And when you stitched it, you have so the design is appropriate for how how do I say, for a frame, 13th by 18th centimeters. Sorry, I'm still with centimeters, not with the inches, even though, like, you know, in the last year I'm getting used to inches more and more. And after stitching it, I just tried the frames I had at home to see which one would fit, and none of them I liked how it fitted, and found in the range such a frame. It's a super cheap one, by the way, but I thought it's going to be okay. The color, it's grayish greenish, so it has a greenish like thing, which I think it looks nice with the fabric, and it looks nice with the design itself. And what I liked the most is that it's wide, you see, because the design is small. A wider frame makes the design even nicer, like bigger and nicer. That's why this frame was chosen. Okay, and the last design, the last strawberry design, is such a sampler from Just Nan. This is Strawberry Summer. It was a wanted design. I mean, like, I was looking for it a couple of years ago. I found it. I was very happy because now it's how they say, it's even more rare, so it's even more difficult to find it. And the fabric which I used here is a DMC fabric, because according to the key it needs a Gratiano fabric. I didn't have that one, that's why I used what I had in my stash. I just put the threads. The threads are DMC, by the way, because you can stitch this one in silks in Overa Soie, but I didn't. I stitched it in DMC, and I'm happy. I even framed it. As you can see, it was a purchased frame from the range again. I think it's okay. I liked it. I think it's okay. And also the chart had so one of the elements you take. Which of the elements? I think it's this one. Yes, I think it's, now it's even smaller. No, it's not smaller, it's this one, you see, like this strawberries you take, and it's this, I think, flower, and it was like given the mini chart of a pink cushion. And I thought that I want to stitch it, and when I was stitching it I was thinking about, wow, I'm going to finish it like very nice, very wow. But no, you know, when I finished I didn't have the mood, and I finished it very like simply. I attached a tassel which I had in my stash. Like here I used the Biscornu stitch, and here is the some Mill Hill beads which were similar to the beads which were in the kit, and I made such a simple pin cushion with this one. Okay, and speaking about the small designs, by the way, as you can see, I have very little this summer. I have two more which I haven't declared as like wishes to be stitched. This is like these two Mill Hill designs. These are the releases of this year. I when I saw them like being released, I said that I need them, I want them, I bought them. And you know, after finishing I think it was the Welcome Pineapple, I kind of wanted to still continue this beauty of the beads. I took these two and I stitched them. So yeah, very nice, very nice. I like them very much. And I finished them, as you can see, with felt. And here we have magnet, like the not the thick thin neodymium magnet, because I have an idea of how I would like to display them. Okay, for this one I can you know, like put as I did for the others, and it will hang in my tree, mini tree, which I have. But for this one, because it's a jar, mason jar I think it's called, you see, like I would like to stick it. I'd like to stick it, and look at these beconces, the 4 beconces which are in the center. Super nice. I like it very, very much. I'm so happy that I stitched them. I like them very much. So the two Mill Hills also have been stitched this summer. And I have one more design. In a second I'm going to show it to you. And the latest, like what I wanted to show you, this is Dimensions. This is Place It Picnic, and I haven't stitched it with an original dimension kit, because this one unfortunately is rare, and it's pretty expensive. That's why I was like hunting the kit for a couple of years, even more I think. And when I just realized that probably I won't just find that one for a decent price, I told myself that I'm going to stitch it with like my forces, or how they say, because I had the scan of the original chart, I mean the dimensions chart. I had a Cross Stitch Saga, I mean like the app which I used to stitch, and I got the dimensions threads from other kits, I mean like leftovers. I bought especially, not for this design, I bought I think three kits, you know, like the needle point, but the needle point which has like the cotton threads, and fortunately in them I found pretty many. And from the leftovers I have, because every time I'm stitching a dimensions kit, I'm keeping the leftovers for myself. I'm not like not throwing them away, but I'm not, if I, for example, give away the chart, I'm not giving them away. So with the leftovers, still I had to use some DMC threads, especially they were used for this frame, because the frame needs a lot of threads, brown threads. I had these threads in dimensions, but they ask for many skeins, like it was 20 something, 30 something skeins. I didn't have enough, you see, and in order not to risk like having like, how do I say, chaos, I compared those the color of those threads with the DMC ones, and I found like the same, I would say. So they weren't like chosen randomly, they were carefully chosen with the DMC threads I had in my with the dimensions and DMC threads I had in my stash. I even dedicated a whole video to this design, because when I started it I was not sure that I will manage to do a good job. That's why I kind of said that I'm going to stitch a bit and then I'm going to show it to you. Then when the design started going faster and faster, I said, okay, I'm going to film like everything and I'm going to make a separate video out of it. So I have a separate video about like the technical details about everything, absolutely everything. The last thing I would like to tell you is the thing that this design is a personal record of mine. I stitched it in 20 days. Yes, this is a Dimensions gold collection, like large gold collection. It has, I think, almost 30,000 like stitches. And yes, it was just a time in my life when I had the time for stitching, you know, and I just took advantage of it, and I wanted to kind of like set myself a personal goal to see how quickly, how fast I can stitch a Dimensions gold collection, and I managed to stitch in 20 days. So generally, or how they say, mainly speaking, I consider that this design is the achievement of is the biggest achievement of this summer. So like stitching it, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy about having this one stitched. Let me start with Mill Hill, probably. Let me start with the smallest. And yes, I have a lot of Mill Hill apparently. From the Mill Hills, from the small kits Mill Hill has, I stitched such designs. They are like from the pumpkin series. This series is made of 6 designs. I don't like all the 6 of them, and I said that I'm not going to stitch all of them. And I have one of them, like the one which is with the witch here. Come on, heart is going away. With a witch, so there is a total, there is an entire scene on that one. So that one is stitched kind of like couple of 3 years ago. Okay, the year they were released. And then I was kind of like looking at them. It was a time when I said, okay, I'm going to buy all of them. Then I looked at them and I said, no, like I admitted that I don't like all of them so much. And then till the end I kind of like went through them, looked at them and said, okay, choose. It doesn't matter. If it's going to be one you like very much, you're going to stitch one. If there are 2, you're going to stitch 2. Why is such a hard, difficult decision? Because I am the kind of cross stitcher who likes very much the idea of continuation. You know, if there is a series of 6, all the time I'm looking at all of them, and I kind of feel guilty that I don't stitch all of them, or I kind of feel that it's my stitcher's duty to stitch all of them. In time, I understood that still it takes a lot of time, that still you have to choose the ones which you really, really like. And that's why I said, okay, go look one more time, choose the ones which you really, really love, and stitch the ones which you really, really love. And I just admitted for myself that these 2 are the ones which I like, and I like throughout the year, during the year I bought them, and now I stitched them, and I consider that the series of these pumpkins, they are finished. Yes. The finishing, usually here I attach felt. I have pretty many colors, pretty many pieces, and for example this autumn I didn't even buy like extra, because I dealt with what I had in stock, let's say so. And here I finished them like this with beads, because I'm hanging them on my tree, white tree. And then I have from another series, which is called Jeweled Fruit, probably, I don't know how to call them. So there is Jeweled Pumpkin, Jeweled Apple, and there is Jeweled Apple, pear from this series. In my stash I had only 2. I had the pumpkin and I had the apple. Now I have a pear as well, but I could stitch it, but I don't know why I was not in the mood of stitching the pear. So the Jeweled Pumpkin. By the way, this one is very small. I don't know why, for me it was a surprise that this one is so small. And the thing which they have, all of them, if I'm not wrong, they have this, like, you see, nice, very, very nice, easy to stitch. And this is the apple, which is, you see, much bigger. I'm not sure, but I think the pear is with the size with the apple. I'll see when I'm going to stitch them. This is how the apple looks like. Nice one. Really nice one. And like they're short. I decided to make this one shorter. This is how they look. Then I have the maple leaf, a design which I liked very much and I wanted. And I remember this one being like on my wish list for a long time. Then I finally bought it. Then I said, okay, I have been liking this one for years. Let me like stitch it. This one, like, it's stitched in layers, because like you stitch this one, then you stitch this one, then you attach all of them. Nice one. I really like this one. This is how it looks like. And then also a design which I liked a lot, I wanted a lot. It was on my wish list for a lot of time, and finally I bought it like during the year, and this autumn I said that I'm going to stitch it. This is the acorn. This one is like the easiest one. I mean, like the least time it took to stitch it. I made a mistake here. It's not so big because still, it's like, if you stitch this design, probably you can see and admit that I made the mistake. If you didn't, you just look and you say, oh, it's so nice, it's sparkling. Yeah, this is how it looks like. Then Wacky Wendy, again a design I liked for many years. Finally I bought it and I stitched her. nice one. I remember this one having a lot of petite beads, and I am the person who is attaching the petites like in cross stitch as they are supposed to do, but this design already was too much for me as well. It was, if I'm not wrong, the last one or the second in the end of these little designs, little kits, Mill Hill kits, and then I said, okay, it's enough. It's enough. That's it. I'm stopping. And I mean, like the petite beads, part of it I attached not in cross stitch but in half stitch, because but still I think it's nice. And one more, which I would say it's more autumn than Halloween. This is Scary Sally, don't remember, Sally Scarecrow. Also, I don't know why, I liked this one very much, and I said, okay, let me buy it, let me stitch it. I bought it, I stitched it, and this is how this one looks like. Nice one. And this is everything about the small Mill Hills. If to speak about Mill Hill, I had also larger design, you know, like the larger kit they have. This is Enchanted Pumpkin. I used to have this one for pretty much time, I think, because in the kit I still had the old ceramic button, I mean, like, but here the button is just a flower, you know, it's a ceramic flower. It's not so, because in some of them the button is kind of, how they say, it's crucial, you know, like if you have the button it makes the difference. Here the button, it was just a small flower. That's why I didn't even attach the button here, because I made the changes. First of all, I finished it in a pin cushion. I started liking finishing my Mill Hills into cushions, because in the beginning I was stitching all of them on perforated paper and putting them in Mill Hill frames, but then I said that it's going to be too much, I have to make a change. So my idea all the time was to stitch this one on fabric which would go in the color of the paper, so that I wouldn't stitch the background, because if I would have stitched according to the kit, this is half of the, how to say, the amount of work I have done. Because first of all, you see this frame here in orange, this is the only orange color I used, that's it. The other two, I think there were two more orange colors I haven't used. So the background was one color, and here in between it was another color. I didn't do it, I just did the frame here. The pumpkin is stitched in black. I stitched all the pumpkin in black. There are a lot of petite beads. You see here they are stitched, attached here, and there are two more, like green and the purplish, so I attached them. And instead of the button should have come here, I attached, if you can see, margaritas, black margaritas I had in stash, so I attached one. I found like where I can put another one, and I was looking where to put another one, but then I said no, because they should come like logically, like this one is in the end of this swirl, you see, it's kind of like a flower, you see, this one is like a flower, and like logically I didn't find anywhere, and I say, why insisting if I cannot find like space for them? That's why it's like this. This side is finished with the same fabric which was used here. It's 27th count, by the way, so the count is large, pretty large. And for this one, especially for this design, for finishing of this design, I bought this ribbon from One Two Free Stitch, and in the description it was said that it should be crinkled. When I received it, it didn't look very much crinkled. And but still I used it. I kind of tried to attach it like in a way, and I still used it. I like it. Honestly, I'm happy with what I have here. So I have kind of a larger Mill Hill, I would say. Another Mill Hill which I have, it's come on, Wendy, not Wendy, Esmeralda, her name is Esmeralda. Another Mill Hill is such a design, wooden design, the wooden birdhouse it's called, I think. This one comes from the how it's called, book Mill Hill. It's not a book, it's a book. The one which I'm showing so often, because this would be the first design I stitched from this book. The designs which are in this Mill Hill books, they are extremely beautiful. They are vintage, because you know they are old. If I would compare, for example, such a design and the ones which come in the kits, I like this ones better, of course. The only like disadvantage they have is that they are very expensive. And when I'm saying very expensive, it means very expensive. The thing is, first of all, it's difficult to find because, for example, for this one, I'm not sure if the fabric, I mean like this fabric, because you have to buy like the band, you see the band linen which comes with this print. I'm not sure if this one is sold anymore. Then if you look at the treasures, in most of the times the treasures are not in stock. Earlier when the buttons, the ceramic buttons were like easy to buy, it was okay. Now even the ceramic buttons are difficult to buy because they are not made anymore, you see, and now it's a real challenge to kit up such a design, but not impossible. So a challenge but not impossible. So here the treasures are according to the key because they were being sold, they were not out of print. The only change I made, so here instead of this like pumpkin, I have a charm. I have a treasure from Mill Hill, the largest pumpkin they have. It should have been a button, a ceramic button, but I didn't want a button. I wanted a treasure, so that the whole design it would be treasured. And I finished it into a bell pull with such wooden thing. Nice, really nice. I'm happy that I stitched it. Also from the same book, it's Wendy, it's in the other Mill Hill kits. This one is Esmeralda, the witch. Yes, my biggest challenge probably this autumn. The materials for this one were like taken, bought, kitted like throughout the year. I used to do such a thing because of the fact that they are not easy to find, because they're expensive. I kind of, when I'm making purchases, I'm adding a few packets of treasures, of beads when I need, and in such a way, for example, if I want to stitch something for next autumn, I would start kind of like in January kitting up everything, and when like September, October comes, I already have everything put together. Sometimes not all of the things are in stock, you know, also it's a reason why I'm not buying like last minute. Okay, this one is stitched on I forgot how the fabric is called, but it's a very big count with a few of DMC threads and a lot of like cranic, a lot of treasures, you know, like this thread, complicated one. To stitch it was easy. I needed I think 3 days to stitch everything, but I needed another 3 days to finish it. For me, the person who is not sewing, I'm bad at sewing by the way, it was difficult because I made it into a doll and they don't give any instructions in that book. I did my best, even this one is sitting down, but because of this one, she's going that side, you see. But it's beautiful, it's exceptionally nice, I like it very, very much. I still made some changes in some of the treasures because I couldn't find all of them, and there were cases when I could find, but I thought that my variant is better. Till the end I am happy with what I have. Well, there is of course, in my videos of course I'm telling in detail, I'm showing how I like the materials, like the way it looks before like stitching it, before putting it together. It has such a bag which says trick, and these ones, they are not supposed to be here, like I mean the cranic, so the only place it was supposed to be, it's here, but after like using it here, I had leftovers. All of these are leftovers, you see, leftover of green, leftover of purple, leftover of blue, and I said why not adding it and make her even more beautiful. So yes, Esmeralda. When I started finishing it, like putting it together, sewing it, I realized that this is a big challenge for me. I even kind of regretted that I started it. And in case, and my advice was, and still I would tell for the teachers who are as I am, I mean like the sewing is not your best point, you can stitch it on fabric, I mean like this big count fabric, and you can finish it into a frame. Still, it's going to look beautiful. It's just when you are stitching it to finish like this, you have to stitch the legs like apart, like one leg, second leg, and then the whole like lady. But there you can stitch everything together So yes, maybe I don't know what I would do if I would have a second chance, but still it's a way of doing it, you know. Okay, so this was all the mill heel I stitched this autumn, and I have some shepherd's bush. Yes, I have I wouldn't say a large, but still I have enough shepherd's bush in my stash, and I don't regret it because I think in time I'm going to stitch a lot of shepherd's bush, and I'm doing little by little. And this autumn I have Halloween, so I have such a bag, trick-or-treat bag. This would be the fourth bag I have in stash. The fourth bag I stitched because it's not in stash anymore. I have a Halloween one. This one is the Halloween. I have a winter one. I have a Christmas one, and I have a Easter one, if I'm not wrong, something like this. So they are kind of seasonal, you know. And I started stitching the others, and I said this year I'm going to stitch all of them according to the season. I'm going to finish them. The thing with this like bags is that the stitching you are doing, you need less time than the finishing itself, because to stitch this one, for me, everything, it was a one-day project. Yes, I did it pretty quickly, but to stitch this one, it was a couple of hours, very easy. But then you have, when you finish it, you have to do the hem stitch here. Not difficult, but it's time consuming. Then like you do the sewing, you do like the thing here, you are like attaching this one, but still it's an easy project, like if you like such. I'm supposed to put the Halloween treats here, but no, in all of them I'm not putting, I'm just filling them in so that they would be as a decoration, I would say. So yes. Okay, then I have such a design. This is my first design from shepherd's bush with such a metal here. According to the key, I should have chosen a larger count of fabric. This is I don't remember how it's called. This is the largest fabric I found in my stash. I decided to use it. I kind of like started making here, like doing the grass. I made the fence and looked how these ones look like, and I said, okay, it's acceptable. But if I have stitched on the original like large fabric, it would have been even bigger. So this is how it looks like. It's still, I'm like put them a little bit like lower here because they were covering very much the the thing, and not everything could be seen. It's a design, again, I stitched during one day. I didn't expect it's going to be so quick, but it was so quick because as you can see here, everything is almost everything is back stitch. So it's cross stitch here, cross stitch here, cross stitch like separate cross stitches for flowers, like here a bit, and that's it. And I like it. It's nice. The frame is super cheap, super simple. I just found it, like, don't remember which shop. I said, okay, let me buy it. If it's going to fit, okay. If no, no. So far, it's going to stay here. I am okay because, you know, it doesn't take so much space, because space started becoming important for me as well. So yes, this one is important because it doesn't take so much space. And yes, such a design is finished as well. Then I have a just one. Surprisingly for me, because I'm stitching lots of just nan, but the just nan I have, this is the newly released Pentagon. There are only 2 pentagons like in Just Nan's collection, and the one which was released years ago I stitched a few years ago, and when this one was released I was like, I fell in love immediately of the new design, and I said, okay, the moment I'm going to buy it, I'm going to stitch it. I was lucky enough to have fabric, because I don't know now, but at the time this fabric it was pretty difficult to find. I had a piece of fabric left over, and everything was like happy end. My favorite one, 20 Haunted Windows, it's called the design. My favorite one is this one with the witch. I don't know why, but I like it. So yeah, and the so-called pins, I said that I put them after finishing. I put them, I filmed it, and I said that in time I'm going to change like them. I'm going to make my own pins. I already looked for my charms. I have an appropriate bat to make as a pin, but I'm still looking for ghost, to make a ghost pin. Nice one, really nice one. And one more small design. This is from the Ukrainian brand Fruzilok. This is the autumn horsey. The pumpkin here I added, it's my charm, because the other ones also had charms, and I said okay, let it be. And what I like about the brand, they give you everything. So the back part, it's a kit, you know, you have everything, you just stitch and you have the ready stitched and finished design, which this is very, very good. Okay, and that's not everything. I have 3 designs more, but the frames are bigger. In a second I'm going to show those ones as well. And I have 3 more. The one which is not finished, not framed, this is Touching the Autumn Sky by luckily for this design you need just DMC threads, which is good. And you need just one color of beads, these ones, you see. And the thing is that I have a stash of like DMC threads all the time. I had the threads, and even more, I had the beads like in my stash. I didn't have to buy them. And you know, when I told myself, okay, let me consider stitching this design this autumn. I said, okay, I remember having the fabric. I took out the fabric. I said, okay, let me look in the key. What do I need? I need DMC threads. Okay, this, and this. I had the threads. Then I said, which beads do I need? Oh, just one color, one pack of beads. I looked like in my stash of beads, you know, like in boxes, and I find these beads and say, I have everything I need to stitch this design. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I stitched it. As I said, you don't need carons, you don't need cranix, you don't need even treasures, but I couldn't resist and I still added some treasures. So I added such a flower. I don't know if you can see. I added such a flower here. I had some leftovers of 3mm Beconosis, and I added one here as if this is the button, you see here, and I added by 3, so 3 here and 3 here, because I had like 7, and that's it. I used all of them. I added like here on her boots. Oh no, I'm wrong. I have more. Oh, I added like here margaritas, because. And from this design, from this Mill Hill, I rearranged some of the treasures, I mean the maple leaf treasures, because they were not fitting into like the design, you know. And I have left like 2 or 3, I don't remember how many, and like my first idea was that I'm going to attach them here, like, you know, I don't know if you can see, like somewhere here, like falling. But the thing is that when I try to put them and arrange them like on this design, I kind of feel that the maple leaves, they don't look, how would I say, organic here. Still, I think the design deserves this kind of leaves. You see, this form of leaves, but I don't have any. And I said, okay, I'm not going to attach. If I feel that they don't belong here, I'm not going to attach them. And until the design is going to be finished, like framed, if I'm going to have the time and I won't forget about it, probably I'm going to buy 2 or 3 packages with this kind of leaves. You see, they come in 2 different colors. I have this one and I have this one. And they come 2 by 2 in every package. So I'm going to buy a few packages and I'm going to attach them. The design is not framed. It's the only design stitched this autumn and not framed. I admit I tried. That's why it's so crumpled, because I haven't ironed it one more time before filming. I bought a frame and I didn't like it. It looked cramped, because in my imagination is that here it should come like on the edge of the frame, and here it should have kind of some space, because she's on a swing, you see, and this is air here. So I feel that I need more. I didn't find a frame which would fit this size. That's why I'm going to go with her probably in a professional framing studio, and I'm going to frame her professionally because she deserves it. She's a very beautiful lady. And there are 2 more. So this is such a design. This is a kit which I purchased at the Knitting and Stitching show this autumn. From a designer I haven't stitched anything so far. You know, like it was nice. It was very well kitted, because I showed in my videos. The thing is that there was a box, you know, and when I was looking at it, I said, okay, let me stitch it, because otherwise I have to like put it in my stash for, I don't know, the next year, the year after that, and so on and so forth, and it takes space. You know, when you have just a kit which is flat, pretty flat, it doesn't take so much space, but this one was taking space, and I said, okay, let me stitch it. And I stitched it. I even like ordered the frame, and I finished it. It was hard work, because here are more cross stitches than I was expecting, but still I am very happy that I did it. Nice one. And I have another corbet. This is a witch. This is Eva. Unexpected stitch for me. There are like a few witches from Pixie Witches, how they are called, which I like. This is the first one I purchased, and this is the first one which I already stitched, and all of this due to the fact that I already had the fabric. I don't know why. When I saw this fabric, I said that Eva is going to look like wonderful on this fabric. I bought it, I stitched it, and I'm happy. And the only mistake I would say that I made is the fact that I stitched it on 28th count, because there was the possibility to buy 32nd count. I don't know why I didn't buy the 32nd, but I bought this one, and I think it's still on the 32nd. It would have looked nicer, because this one is stitched with dark threads, and this threads, I don't know, you can see through the cross stitches. I know it's not a serious thing to wonder about, but still, I'm wondering about that. Yeah. So this would be all my cross-stitched projects of the autumn of 2025. And the last season to be presented to you is winter, and I will start winter like finished projects, not with the winter which started now in the end of the year, but with the winter which finished in the beginning of the year, you know, but because in a year we have two winters usually, like the end of one season and the beginning of the end of winter which started in 24, you know what I mean. Okay, because these ones happened earlier, and probably many of you don't remember them. Okay, so I stitched and I finished such a bell pull. This is from one of Mill Hill's, you know, like booklets, I don't know how to call them. I honestly adore everything they have in them. As I said, the only disadvantage is that they are pretty expensive, and many of the buttons, the charms are out of print, but if you find them, if you find the fabric they are recommending, it's magical. For example, here what attracted me very much is the fabric as well. You see there is such a band linen, and it has like this Christmas trees on the side, and in the stitching itself there are a lot of Christmas trees. You see, like there is a huge one, like this one, this two, like four. Yes, four. Beautiful. I stitched it pretty quickly, you know, but the outcome is wonderful. I absolutely, and it's DMC, the threads are DMC, nothing like special. And I finished it with a tassel here, and like this. Beautiful. Very, very nice. At least I like it a lot. That's why I'm saying beautiful, beautiful. Okay, next one is such a design also by Mill Hill, and this one is taken from the book which is called 40 Years of Witchell Designs, something like this. I stitched everything what I wanted from that book, by the way. And I think they reprinted it, because now I see more often, like I see it in the shops. There was a time when it was out of stock everywhere, but now I can see it. So you can buy it, and you can stitch the designs from each which you like. This one, Midnight Santa is called, and I'm not a fan of Mill Hill Santas, by the way. They have like a lot of them, and they have like Santas from different parts of the world. As I said, I'm not a fan of them, but when I saw this one, I was like, I have to stitch it. This one is gorgeous. This one comes, I don't know if you visually notice, but this is a bigger frame from Mill Hill. It's not the standard frame, and I had to buy like the perforated paper. I had to buy the, the materials. I was lucky enough to find the buttons, which you know that now are a hard find. And what's interesting about this one, that you are stitching different parts, and you are kind of like make a sandwich out of cake. I don't know how to call it, because you see on brown paper you stitch like this frame, and then also on brown paper you stitch Santa. On blue paper, the navy paper, you stitch the background, and you see like you attach the Santa, you attach like this one, and it's nice. I really like it. And a lot of beads. So in my case, I was lucky enough to find the buttons. The rest of the materials, it was easy to find, because nothing was out of print except the buttons, you know, which are hard to find. But I think you can replace them with just another button. It's not going to be a crime. Also, it's going to look beautiful. Or replace them with something else, because, you know, we cross stitchers are very resourceful people. Yes. Okay, next one. It's such a design, such a project, such a finish. This was a kit from Chewek, it's called, and it was a very old vintage kit. It had a huge Count Aida. I think it was the 10th Aida, huge. But I knew that actually there is a plate like this. This is Royal Victoria and Albert Museum, and a Christmas plate. And I knew that there is such a plate, and there is also such a figurine. But the thing is that figurine, it was already expensive, and I said, okay, and I have a lot of figurines, you know, like the cross stitchers, and I said, okay, I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to kind of like buy just the plate, and that's it. Of course, I didn't stitch on that huge Aida. I chose 28th count, I think it's linen, and I kind of remade the back stitch on her face, I remember, but it's very, very vintage, very nice. I simply adore it. And the frame, I bought at that time a brown, white, simple, plain frame, because I couldn't find another one, like more appropriate. But I think that in time, if I'm going to find something better, I'm going to replace it, of course, because, you know, there is always space for improvement. Such a nice pair. Okay, then I had such a design. This is a Luca S kit, and I had this kit from like years and years ago, and this is a kit called London. It's a large one, and it's a lot of stitching here. It's the 18th count Aida, and I started it, like, as I said, years ago, but I wasn't stitching it. I tried like a few times to revive this project, like thinking that I will do like this, I will stitch like this, I will stitch little by little. No, it didn't work, because like from what I stitched, what I had stitched, it was like this red phone box, and this couple, it was like pretty much stitched, and I even started like the tree. And then I thought that why not, because if I stitch the couple, so the phone box, it was already stitched. If I finish the couple and I stitch like the background, everything, and I stitch like these trees, I can have a little, how to say, a little stitch which can be framed, you know. And I just organized myself. I had 7 stitching days, if I'm not wrong, and I finished. I finished what by the part I planned. I even added here like there is a half stitch. You see like in bluish, it's the sky, and I'm happy. So kind of I didn't leave what I started, and I like spent one more week, but I have something. And this would be the only unfinished design of the like winter season, and this is because it's not, it doesn't fit in any standard frames, you know, because it doesn't. I tried buying a frame which has a Passepartout, a mat, you know, and cutting the mat according to this one, but now it doesn't work. That's why I said that I'm not going to spend money and time and to do like experiments, because I cannot do it. So it doesn't, I cannot do it, and that's it. That's why I thought that when I'm going to go to the professional framing studio, I'm just going to take this one with me. There are like a lot of budget frames there. Why budget? Because I don't want to spend a lot of money on an expensive frame for this one. I'll find a nice budget frame and I am going to finish this one for sure. Yes. Okay, and there are 3 little designs, and I was thinking, why only 3? Just a sec. I was thinking, why only 3? But it's only 3 because in 24, in the end of 2024, I stitched a lot of small designs like Just Nans, I had Mill Hills, I had kind of Santa's workshop at that time. But in the beginning of the year, I stitched such a shepherd's bush. This is the winter bag, because I had the plan of like the project, let's say so, to stitch all the bags from shepherd's bush, and I finished them successfully. So you see, this was the winter one. I had kits for all of them, of course, and I stitched the winter one. Then February came and I had some urge to stitch some heart projects, and I have like, it was the heart project also from shepherd's bush. This one, you see, this one is longer, kind of like it doesn't have the same shape as the others. This is the longest of all. Such a key charm and a heart charm, a huge heart charm. And also in February, I stitched Mill Hills Valentine's Heart. I wanted to stitch this one for a long time. And finally, I had the kit. I had the kit already with the Just Another button, but I changed it on a Swarovski heart, because I wanted so, and I think it's more beautiful. I finished it as a pink cushion, you see, and here I made the Biscornu stitch, and I added beads. Really nice, I would say. And this would be the designs which were like in the end of the 25 winter, the beginning of the 25 winter, yes, the other part. Oh no, sorry. I almost forgot the most beautiful thing, which so this is my pride and joy. This is Santa Sleigh is called, and this is also from one of Mill Hills books, and this is so far the most expensive Mill Hill design from these books which I have stitched. For example, this one is out of print. It's a rare treasure, and I kind of like looked for it because I wanted it. This one is an out of print. This one I found it kind of like easier because I bought it like when it was still sold. Okay, nice one, really nice one. And it took a bit of time, you know, it wasn't an easy design, but I'm so glad that I stitched it, because before starting it I remember that I had a bag full of like treasures and beads for it. And the frame, it's a frame from TK Maxx, a frame with some art in it, so I actually like ripped it off, took the art out, and I added my design, and I think it's, so far I'm happy with the frame. It's beautiful, it's very beautiful. And yes, let me speak about what I have stitched like this December, because it's going to be this December. The rest of the stitching, which is going to be in January, February, is going to be already for next year. And my winter started with such a finished project. This is not a winter one, but still I started it in November and it was going on so well, and I said, okay, I'm going to finish it. This is Sewing Room Teddies. This is a kit which comes in not in cross stitch, but in printed, or how it's called, stitch. This would be my second project when I'm like I'm stitching on linen, something which is you're supposed to stitch on printed fabric, and I'm very, very happy. I will repeat myself, and I'll tell you that I have the details in the design in the video where I showed like each project. This one is very beautiful, and I framed it by myself with what I was able to find, something like this. Okay, only one just now, but I hope that till the end of the winter I will stitch more. This is Teddy Ref, a very old design, a big wish of mine, or desire of mine to stitch, and I stitched it. And I finished it in such a frame from TK Maxx. I absolutely adore the frame. I think it's very, very nice for this one. And the charm, I didn't have the original kit because this is from the Filigree Fancies. I didn't have the original kit. I just had the charm from Susan Clark's Originals. I bought it like years and years ago because mine is painted. Originally it should be golden, but then mine is painted, you see. But I think it's even more beautiful. Okay, I will leave this one till the end. Then I have stitched such a cupcake fairy. This is Mill Hill, according to a design by Jim Shore, because Jim Shore has such a fairy figurine, and I was able to buy the figurine, and I also managed to stitch. I bought like the kit as well, and I managed to stitch the design as well. I finished it in like a red typical Mill Hill frame, as very recommended by the Key, and I think it's wonderful. I'm very happy that I stitched this one. And the next one would be such a design. This is Dimensions. This is from the series Daydreams, and I had like from 3 years ago. I had one more Santa, which was stitched but finished like in everything they are giving in the kit. I mean the glass which is in front. I didn't like that one, and I wanted to change because I saw that some stitchers are stitching it and finishing it in a frame and use that piece of paper as a mat, you know, as a colored, this painted mat. And I said that I'm going to do it. This one I wanted for a long time. I think I managed in 2025 to buy it. That's why it was kind of a must to stitch and finish. And I bought also frames for both of them. I like stitched and framed this one and reframed that one. Of course, I showed it. And yes, I am very happy that this one was done. And one more project which was finished, a tiny one, and this was finished. This would be the 50th finished design of 25. Yes, I wanted to have 50. That's why I stitched it and I finished it. Still, it doesn't have felt on the other side because I said that if or when I'm going to stitch more Mill Hills, little Mill Hills this year, I'm going to like attach the felt with all of them. I like doing this one. And this part of the video is going to be kind of like inset. I don't know how to say. I'm going to put it somewhere because I forgot about this to finish the projects. Now the thing is that they are standing like this here, and I don't know why. I because in the list of finished designs I have them, and I don't know why I didn't take them. I didn't show them because they, like, okay, the half doll was finished in winter, but it was stitched like in autumn. But the bottle of perfume was finished even in autumn. I don't know why, but it's never too late. Good that I saw them and I just realized that I haven't presented them. So this is they were counted in those 50 projects finished, but I just forgot to show them in the parade. So this is Chatelaine by this is Shalimar by Chatelaine. The perfume, you know that I am became a very big fan collector of Guerlain perfumes, and this one was started in summer, finished in winter, and I had a saga with the frames because I was looking for an oval frame, and finally I found it and I finished it, and I'm happy. Beautiful. I'm very, very happy that I stitched this beautiful design. And I have such a half doll. So originally her name is Roberta. I'm calling her Madame Guerlain because I changed the color of her skirt. I kind of made them in Guerlain colors. In Shalimar, sorry, not Guerlain, in Shalimar colors. So she would be Madame Shalimar better off. This is how she looks like. She was stitched in autumn, finished in December in winter. Beautiful pair. I'm very glad that I managed to stitch them and to have them finished. And that's everything. Yes, I think that's everything what I have stitched this year, what I have stitched this winter and what I have stitched this year. And this is going to be the last video of this year. That's why I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And of course, see you next year in my videos. Until then, bye bye.